Alright, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a fully customizable dashboard in Bubble. If you're a complete beginner or you have some experience, this will be a perfect tutorial for you. So we're going to be making a dashboard like this, where you can change the view to client, dashboard, and we just have some price fillers here. So I have a blank canvas here. First thing I'm going to do is add a new page, and I'm going to call this, let's just call it dashboard. First thing on the layout, I'm going to set it to be a column. We're going to go a default builder width of 1200 and a min height of 900 here. Alright, now before we do anything else, I want you to navigate over to the plugin section here, and you're going to need to install a plugin called Google Material Icons. This will be for the icons on the left here, as you can see. And the next thing we're going to want to do is head to the database. And on the user, we're just going to set a name field. So I'll delete that and show you how to do it really quickly. Field name is name and the type is text, just like that. Alright, now that we have this, let's get started. So the first thing we need is a left-hand sidebar menu. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a reusable element here. And basically what this is an element that can be used across multiple pages. So if we create this sidebar on this page as a reusable element, we can then copy and paste it into each different page as we wish. So go to the top left here, and we're going to go add a new reusable element. I'm going to call this sidebar and hit create. And then what I'm going to do here is we're going to set the width of this to 280. This is sort of standard sizing here. And the min height, let's just set to 900 to match our page. And on the appearance tab, we're going to make this a floating group. All this means is it'll float like above the elements. As you can see, you can change it here. Let's go above. And then we're going to add some padding here as well. So on the sidebar, we're going to add 24 all the way around padding. And now we can start creating our sidebar. So the first thing, just for this video's sake, I'm going to get a group. This will be for the logo. I'm going to call this group logo. And I'm going to just set this to be a fixed width and fixed height here. And let's just say 48 and 48. I'm going to give this a roundness of, let's just say 8, and a flat background color, and we'll just choose anything we want here. Let's just go something like that. And on the layout tab, we're going to make this an align to parent container. And then what we can do is add a text and place it inside the logo, and we'll just say a big M. We'll change this styling here to white, and let's just make this, what do we want here? Let's just say heading 5, no, heading 2, no, too big, heading 3, perfect. It'll make that white. So obviously you will have a logo for your business or company or whatever it is that you're doing. So just for the video's sake, I'm just going to make one up really quick, just like that. And now the next thing we want to do here is add some text for the name, and let's just call this anything we want. Just call it momentum, just for example's sake. I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. We'll go heading, yeah, that'll be alright, heading 5. And we want these two elements side by side. So if you hold shift on your keyboard and select both the elements, right click, group elements in a row container, just like that. And I'm going to get rid of the min width, get rid of the min height there, and untick fit with the content. And then on the text itself, I'm going to center align that. And on this group logo, we're going to center align that as well. But as you can see here, we have a bit of a spacing issue. They're too close together. So on that group we just created, I'm going to apply gap spacing, a column gap, and we'll just go 12, just like that. Alright, now let's get into the actual buttons here. So let's first add a material icon. This will be the icon that we added, the plugin that we installed, sorry. And the first one's going to be a dashboard, so let's just set it to be a home. And let's just go 24 by 24, just like that. And then we're going to add some text here. Now this will be dashboard. And we're only going to need to do this once because we're going to copy and paste this throughout these whole buttons here. So we'll just set this to be, we'll go body large here, but we'll change it to 18 pixels and we'll make that semi-bold. Just like that. Actually, no, we'll set this to be 16 pixels here and semi-bold. That looks okay. All right, now what I'm going to do is same thing as before. Right click, hold shift, group elements in a row container, and we're going to set a fixed height here of 44, so it's like a button. Untick fit with the content. And what we want to do here is align these elements in the center as well, just like that. And then on the actual button itself, we're going to add in some gap spacing and we'll match that. We'll go 12 like that. And then what we want to do here though is on the actual group we just created, we're going to add 10 padding left and right, just like that. And we can actually do the same on the group logo. So 10 padding left and right. And as you can see now, they all line up. All right, now let's copy and paste this element. So we'll do it once, twice, and we'll do it 4 times, just like that. And now what we need to do here is group all of these elements in a column container so we can apply that separation between the logo and the actual buttons here. So while holding shift again, we're going to select these 4 elements, right click, group elements in a column container now because they're stacking vertically. So we're going to hit column container. We'll call this group buttons. We'll untick the fit with the content, no min width and no min height. And we'll apply some gap spacing here. Let's just say 12, row gap, just like that. And then on the actual sidebar itself, we're going to apply the gap spacing, and let's just say 48. So as you can see now, we have a bit of spacing there. Now all we need to do is go through and change these. So for the logo, we'll make this text clients. We'll make the dashboard, we'll say projects. And then we'll say tasks. And now we obviously just need to change the logo to match. So for the clients, let's just choose an icon and we'll go people. We'll just go like that. What do we want? This one. We'll then go, I don't know, chart. Just like that, projects. And then for the tasks, we'll just go tasks, just like that. All right, and it matches all perfectly now. And now what we want to do now is we actually we need to change the alignment of this actual sidebar because we want to put some settings and a profile picture and stuff down the bottom here. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to grab a we'll just start with a text here, just like this. We'll make last for this text, and this is just going to be, we'll just say current user's name, and then we'll add one more text here, make that last again, and this will say current user's email, like that. Now on the user's name, we'll just make that a little bit bigger. So we'll just set this to be maybe 16, just like that. And same thing guys, hold shift, select both elements, right click, group elements in a column container, just like that. And now, if we navigate back to the data field here, this is optional, you don't need to do this. We can add an image data field here. So, if a user signs up, they can upload an image, and we can display that now down the bottom here. So what we're going to do is add an image, add that in. We're going to make last, and I'm just going to make this width 48, and we'll make this aspect ratio fixed to 48, 1:1. And then on the actual image, we need to make the roundness 100 here. This is how we actually achieve that fully rounded goal for our images. And we're going to make this image dynamic. So this is going to say current user's image. And for the run mode rendering, let's set this to zoom. So this will zoom in on the image. And now, as you probably guessed, we need to group these elements together. So on this one, holding shift, we're going to group elements in a row container, just like that. But what we need to do here is select the image and make first, like so. And then on that group we just created, we need to set some column gap here, and we'll just set this to be, 8, just like that. All right, but we have a problem now. As you can see, all these are stacked to the top of the sidebar. So on the sidebar element, we want to go to the layout, and to the container alignment, we want to add a space between. And as you'll see now, it separates these elements individually. But we have too much spacing now between the logo and the buttons. So what we want to do is select all the group buttons while holding shift here, and on the logo, right click, group elements in a column container. No fit with the content, no min width, no min height. And we're going to apply some gap spacing again of 48, just like that. As you can see, it looks a bit better now. Now on this group itself, with the name and email, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set some padding. For the top, we're going to add in, we'll just say 24. And then the same thing, we also need 10 left and right to match up with our other elements. But as you can see, we have an issue here, so I'm going to leave that 10 on the right. And we have 10 padding now perfectly. So we have padding up the top here, and you may have asked why I've done that. And that is because on this group, we want to set a border style, but we want to define it independently. So hit define each border independently, and I'm going to set the top to be a solid with a border color of EB, EB, EB. You can copy that now. And then the next thing we want to do here is add a little settings option. So let's add some text. And actually what we can do to make this easier, I'm just going to undo that. We can actually just copy one of these buttons to here. Let's just make this settings, and let's say settings, a little cog will come up. There we go, perfect. And now we need to, holding shift, group these elements in a column container, just like that. But this is below, so we need to make this first, just like that. All right, now on that group itself with all of these elements, I'm going to quickly remove the min width here, and the rest should be fine. Now our sidebar is coming together nicely, but the next thing we quickly need to do is we need to make it, we need to put a border style. So on the sidebar, define each border independently, and we want to set it to the right, solid, with that same border color. All right, now if we quickly go back to the dashboard page, as you'll now be able to see, we can access this in the elements tree sidebar where the reusable element section is. Paste that straight in. The issue that I've quickly done now though is on the sidebar. I've set this to be a default builder width, but we need to actually also make it a max width of 280. Alright, so now we're gonna want to add a group here for the heading. So first thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna add in a floating group. Just like that. And now that we have that sidebar, we want to make the layout, we're going to add some margin on the left of 280 pixels. And we're going to set a fixed height here of 80. This is just a creative choice. You can really do whatever you want. No min width or no max width. And let's just make this a flat color of white. Like that. And let's quickly add some padding here, left and right. Let's just go 32 and 32. And 32, if this is going to want to do it for me. Alright, now let's add some text. And all this is going to say is, let's just say, welcome back. And then we're going to insert some dynamic data here. And this will just be current user's name. So once a user has logged in, this will say, welcome back, current user's name. Let's just make this, let's say heading 3, yep. And we're going to want to align this element in the center like that. Alright, now what we need to do here is we're going to, on that floating group quickly as well, I'm going to set a border style. I'm going to define it independently. On the bottom, solid with that same EB color. So then we can differentiate the actual group from the heading and sidebar. Alright, now let's add a group in here. Now this is going to be our main group. So we're going to add that in here. And as you probably are guessing, we need to add 280 pixels of margin on the left. And on the top 80. So that's going to not interfere with any of these at all. We're going to untick fit height to content, untick fit width to content. No min width and no min height. And what I'm going to do here is just set some padding of, let's just say 24 all the way around, just like that. And let's just call this group content. Alright, so we have group content now. And what we want to do here is this is what's going to be displayed on when a page loads. So this is not going to change, so we're going to need to add some different groups to be filtered when, you know, these buttons are clicked. So let's add another group in here. Like so. No min width, untick fit height to content, and let's just call this, what do we want to say here, group dash. So this will be when the dashboard button is clicked. So first thing, let's add some text. And let's say dashboard. This will be like a title. We'll set this to be, what do we want? We'll go heading 4, like that. Alright, now I'm just going to add some elements here, just for place fillers. So let's add a group, just to show you what it might look like if you were to do this. And I'm going to untick fit with the content. I'm going to have no min width and set a fixed height here of 150. And I'm quickly going to make this a flat color of white, just like that. And let's give it a roundness of 8. And we'll quickly add a border style. We'll just do solid all the way around with that same EB color. And then what we want to do is copy and paste this 3 times. Shift, select all 3 elements. You're probably getting familiar with this. Group elements in a row container. And we're going to untick fit with the content. No min width, no min height. And we'll apply some gap spacing. Let's just say 24 on the column. And now, as you can see, we have that sort of spaced out elements, but the actual dashboard title is sitting a bit too close for my liking. So on the group dash, we're going to apply some row gap of 24, just like that. And now, just for the sake of this, we're going to copy this group again, like that. And let's just make the height on this, I don't know, we can set this whatever we want. Let's just say 500, like that. So, you know, if this was a dashboard, you might have some, you know, percentages. You could have the churn rate, you could have whatever you want, really, the top 3. And then in this big group here, you could have messages, or, you know, your messages between customers, users, whatever you sort of want, messages that you haven't seen. So that's going to be our group dashboard. Now, what I want to do here is on group dashboard, make sure we have group dash selected. I'm going to untick that this element is visible on page load and collapse when hidden. And why that is because we only want this group to show once that dashboard button is clicked. So what we want to do here is let's actually navigate to the left hand side and let's close that, or let's hide that group. As you can see, now we have a clean sort of slate to work with again. And the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to say group clients. So we're going to add in another group here. And we're just going to give this group client, like so. Same thing as that exact group, no fixed width, no min width, no min height. And let's add a text here, and let's just say clients. We'll make that the same, heading 4. And then I'm just going to add in some place fillers here, and just to show you what, as I said, what it might look like. So let's just add in a group again, and I'm going to untick fit with the content, no min width, and let's just have a fixed height of 80 here, and I'm going to set a roundness of 8. And same thing, a flat color background style with a border style of solid with that nice EB color. And now let's just copy and paste this. We can do it all the way down, like so. And let's just apply some gap spacing here. Let's just say 24, like that. And then you can obviously add a bigger group down the bottom. So I'll just show you for example's sake. Let's just set this to 150. So you have something like that, you know, your clients, and then your messages from the clients. All right, now we're going to do the same thing. So make sure group client is selected. We're going to untick this element is visible on page load, and we're going to set collapse when hidden. Now all this means is when this element is not hidden, the actual group that is holding it will collapse, so you can't actually see like a big white space gap. All right, but then you may be thinking, well, how are we actually going to filter and show these groups? So what we're going to do is, back on the sidebar, we're going to want to edit this element. And on the button dashboard, we're going to actually add a workflow. So what we're going to do is add a workflow on group dashboard. And let's just say here, we're going to want to navigation, go to page, and the page we're going to go to is our dashboard, and we're going to send more parameters to the page. We're going to add a parameter, the key is going to be V, and let's just say this to be dash. So I'll quickly set this up now, and I may as well do the client one while we're going. So on the client as well, we're going to do the same thing. Navigation, go to page, dashboard, send more parameters, the key is V, except now let's just say clients, like that. All right, now to actually show this, let's go back to the dashboard page, and if we open the group content, you can see here we have the 2 groups hidden. So on group dashboard, I'm going to untick to hide that, and the condition is going to be when get data from page URL, the parameter is V, which we just set, is dash, this element is visible, just like that. Now if I preview this, I'll quickly show you how this is going to look. I'll get rid of debug mode really quick. All right, now if we hit this, as you can see, our dashboard shows. So let's go back to it really quick, and we'll do the same thing with the client. So we're going to want to hide that group now, unhide the client group, and we're going to want to say when get data from page URL, the parameter is v, is clients, this element is visible, and tick yes. All right. Now there's a few little UI things, sort of tricks and stuff we can do here. So just to make this look as professional as possible. So on the sidebar, we're going to go back and edit that element. We're going to set a few conditions here. So on all of these groups, we want to add in some roundness of 8. So let's do that on these buttons. 8 roundness, just on every one of them. And now on the dashboard, let's just say on the condition, what we want to do is when this group is hovered, we want to change that background color. So let's go background style, flat color, and let's just change the color to let's just say what we got the surface. So copy that color code F6F7F9, and what we can do here is we can right click, copy condition, and then we can go and paste that to all of our other ones as well. This is a really time-saving way to do it. Then if I go back to this page and I'll refresh this, you'll see as they're hovered, it changes. All right, but we can actually make this, a little bit smoother again. And what we're going to do here is we want to apply a background transition. So for this dashboard group here, let's scroll down and select a property to define a new transition. And we're going to go background style. We're just going to set this to 400, and we're going to do the same for all of these groups. Background style, 400 on all of them. All right. Now, if we refresh this, as you can see now, it's actually a lot smoother when we are navigating. So if I hit clients, now you can see all the clients. But down the bottom here, we actually don't have that user displaying. So what we want to do is we want to run it as a user. So you'll see, my name, my email, and my profile. So if we go to the database here, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. Users, let's just add a new entry. And we'll just go. We can just create sort of, that play data. I'll upload any profile picture here. Let's just do this as this random one. We'll go create. And then we'll run this as me, and this will load down the bottom left here, and it'll say actually welcome. Sorry, we'll go back to the dashboard page. Then if we preview this, and we'll turn off debug mode, you can now see that sort of beautifully designed dashboard that we have. So now we can filter through. We have the dashboard group showing now. We then have the client group showing, and as I said, guys, these are all just placeholders here, so you would obviously need to make that dynamic to whatever data you want to display. But that is actually how we create a pretty good dashboard in Bubble. It's a good start for you people to learn, and a dashboard is one of the main components of any sort of software, whether it be CRM or email automation services, whatever that be. So if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe to the weekly newsletter. I give away tips and tricks every week that aren't actually on the YouTube videos. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps me out. and follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in the next video.